because I think we can really. I mean, I'll be the first to admit with this, I don't think I'll have all the answers, but I think we can have some really good conversations. And now that we're like, I'm actually like looking at your play, we can take a lot of
Oh,
our like.
dude, I'm like nervous, dude.
No, dude, don't be nervous. This is great. I mean, because
uh,
we've talked about your play theoretically a lot, and I feel like you've described your play to me, but I haven't actually like really
yeah,
looked at it. So this will be good.
yeah, I make some, dude. I'm actually there's some washed up like mistakes, dude. I'll tell you that much.
That's all right. We're all learning. We're all on a learning journey. Is there a specific map you wanted to look at
Um,
first? Because
Maybe we
otherwise,
can warm up with Hanamura because that was the one I already watched, and we just like
okay.
run through that pretty quick. But
Yep, sounds good. I think my
also, I might just I'll just watch on the stream.
yeah. And meanwhile, let me make sure I have my chat and everything in case people are talking about how scuffed my audio is. We'll see. Yeah, and let me know. I guess since you're watching on the
Dude,
stream, let me know if it's scuffed.
dude, Billy's already full aiming me.
Let's see this. All right. All right, let me play a few. So we're defending first. You're on BAP. Okay, you've got a basically spam. Decent comp actually.
Welcome to Masters.
And they also have a decent comp with okay, wow. Good pick on the Ash. And let me make sure I'm watching mostly from your first person POV, so I don't get sidetracked with the macro.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I like helping the Sigma there. Yeah, I mean, so far I don't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah, I feel like there's maybe mainly 2 or 3 big errors that you'll definitely notice.
Okay.
I think the first point defense is relatively uneventful, but maybe you can spot something that you might want to talk about that I might overlook.
So looking for a window here, yeah, I mean, this is all pretty solid basics.
Also, I just noticed you still have the standard BAP reticle.
No. I think, doesn't it, for replay viewer, go to defaults, or does it go to what my...
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh, wait, maybe it actually does go to what the person... Do I have default for BAP? I play around with it.
Oh, no, you have crosshairs.
Yeah.
Weird. I didn't know it did that. Then why is it green? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't really been forced to make any sort of crazy play yet. I mean, it's just really good, solid positioning around the corner, windowing proactively. You haven't even really had to, like, I don't think you even thrown a single lamp in the game yet.
Nope.
I don't,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you haven't really needed to.
Yeah.
Ooh, Die Raven, thanks for the follow.
Die Raven, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Much love.
Billy with the flam. Okay, so we definitely need lamp here. Good boots.
Billy just...
Alright, we'll rewind this a little bit. There's two very slight things that are... Oh, you guys still win this anyway, don't you? I think you do?
Yeah, we do.
Alright, we will definitely rewind a little bit of this. Once this kind of stable. Alright, let's go back a little bit.
Okay, guys, we don't gotta throw a lamp if we don't need lamp, right?
Okay,
Alright,
let's
I'm curious.
go slow here. So, um, so lamp was obviously very necessary. I was initially gonna say it would have been nice if, you know, in like kind of typical lamp basics, you kind of throw it more around the corner. I guess in the end it didn't really matter because the slash was gonna get it anyway. But the thing I really want to look at is as the fight kind of devolves, I feel like a better position would have been to just stay up here. Because
Yeah.
you kind of get caught like down here for a while, and you do initially, like in the next second or so, you do try to jump up here, and I think you are trying to land on this ledge, and then you just aren't able to stick the landing. I don't know if you were or not. Maybe you.
You know, that's a good question.
But either way, it's good that, you know, since you do hit the ground, you need a second jump. You get the jump.
Yeah, I feel like my thoughts right now when I'm trying to like dodge the blade, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to jump up to bait his dash up and then
Yep.
drop back down. But maybe
Yep.
I should just like land on the ledge and then he would dash up. But
Well, I think.
I didn't even think like he was looking at me there. He just kind of let me live.
Right.
And I just got knocked up here, which is nice of them.
But you eventually do drop off this position. And I don't think you
Yeah.
necessarily needed to. So, like, right here, we're healing. So there's a Genji somewhere in our back.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went. He's underneath, right? But I still think you don't necessarily need to drop from here unless he actually does pressure you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
right
agree.
here, dropping I don't think is actually helping us in any way. So there's a drop that comes in here, and I was just kind of surprised because I wasn't... We'll just keep watching.
I will say that is the root cause of my mistakes. Is that for some reason on BAP I don't feel comfortable playing at range.
Interesting. So, like,
If that
right...
makes sense. Yeah, like right here, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
know why I dropped, really, but just I don't know. I felt like I needed to get closer or something. I don't know why.
I
It's
mean,
definitely a bad habit.
now that we're watching it
And
again in
habit.
slow-mo, and let me turn that damn beeping sound off.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sort of see how the Genji is looking at you, so maybe you thought he was gonna dash up,
Yeah.
and so you're trying to get
that
closer
might
to
have
the
been it.
team.
That might have been it. I
Which,
think I was like antsy that he would like jump me, and I have no cooldowns.
interesting. Okay, I mean, so the
And I
fact
just
that...
wanted to get closer to the brig, but
So to be fair,
it's
I mean, the Genji looking at you like this, I can totally understand like wanting to drop here if he comes to dive you. Like if he does dive you and you don't have like lamp and the shift, which you don't, you probably are gonna need a drop. However, let's actually just go with that logic and let's just keep playing this out.
yeah.
So you're healing. I do feel like, so once this ball is here, I feel like this low ground's really dangerous. Like maybe it's
Yeah.
just the chaos, but basically my point is I feel like you want to get back to that high ground if possible.
Right.
Like ASAP. So maybe, you know, you hit this brig once or twice. Like right here, I feel like you got to be getting back to that high ground. And instead we're just kind of standing like really close to the brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And like now the brig is pushing us. We kind of have to pan. It's not a bad window. Now we have to lamp, but the lamp is out in the open. Had we more quickly gotten back up, I feel like we'd be under less pressure. We can put the lamp where we need to. We can probably put more damage down. We're not going to be dove by 3 different people. The ball never would have, like... The brig wouldn't have pushed you. The ball probably couldn't have rolled through. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I
No,
just feel like...
I agree. I think that's a good point.
So the initial drop, like, the Genji... Like, I think it's still worth at least forcing Genji to invest the dash,
like,
right?
Right. That's fair. And then just like call for a brig pack or something.
And, like, you can, like, do exactly what you were doing before, where it's, like, you know, force him to invest the dash, and then drop, and then immediately just jump back up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I mean, this is easy to
right.
say just kind of looking back at it in slow motion, but it was a chaotic fight. I just feel like the fact you got caught with their ball rolling through the Genji at any point probably could have potentially popped off. Like the Brig with Rally is now Wing into you. Like I just feel like this is very risky.
Mhm.
And I don't really feel like your Brig can do too much to save you here if they... Maybe she can do a little bit, but I feel like your team's not really looking backwards. And now we're standing on point, right? Like imagine like if we're up there and that...
Yeah, but it's like I feel like the entire logic of me just like changing position or like avoiding the high ground
Mm-hmm.
is just to like play inside of the team where the Brig like can freely actually support me. So
Yeah.
like, it's like I don't know. It's like yes, I think high ground is good, but it's just like the Brig can only pack me from up there. I don't know. I think playing high ground in the end is overall the better positioning for sure.
I mean, you do end up staying alive here, so the plan sort of
Yeah.
worked out. It's just you're caught in the midst of the chaos, right? And to be
It is
clear,
risky.
when
No,
I
it is
say
risky.
play from the high ground, it's like obviously the big caveat is like assuming you're not really being dove hard. Like if certainly if more people are going at you very hard, I would be like, yeah, probably play closer to the core. But really,
Yeah.
the only one that was going to get you in that window, definitely, I highly doubt it would have been the ball. Like, he would have had to really path, and for that window, it's really just the Genji.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I think that's a good point.
But that's just more of a
Also,
minor
like-
tweak.
so, like, I feel like the ultimate thing there is just to be like, make sure we're tracking Blade and then just positioning in a spot that's like preset to like counter it, right? It's like,
right.
I mean, like I've said this in my own reviews of like other bad plays, right? It's like you want to track Blade and then play far away, right? And I think it's just a matter of like incorporating that, and then I guess just understanding. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's like the nuances of like dodging a blade, but
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think...
typical coaches talking for 10 minutes.
that's a good comment. That's a good comment, actually.
True.
What were we talking
So,
about?
like-
Oh, I mean,
like-
but your mechanics to dodge the blade were actually decent there, I thought, because you were able to get enough good jumps off. Maybe if you were able to like land on the ledge,
Mhm.
that would have made it a little bit trickier for the Genji.
Wait,
because-
so I asked this yesterday, but it's one slash with the nano blade to kill a squishy, right? Or is it no slash and a dash? Slash and a dash.
I mean, it's really slash is 180.
Right.
So if it could be one hit if they've already taken some chip damage.
So there's time to. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to think like like what is an actionable thing I can be thinking about for that next like situation. It's just like position better for blade.
Mm-hmm.
And so I noticed after watching this VOD is that like sometimes I feel panicked to like get close to like hit my healing nades more accurately or like faster, right?
Right.
And I feel like part of that, or I don't know, I think I was like definitely nervous about the Genji like jumping me at high ground, and
Right.
maybe I guess just valuing the high ground and like trying to hold it before dropping. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is I get the whole thing about healing from range being like maybe you're not going to heal it quite as fast because this is the travel time, right? But the problem is if you play too close and then the fight gets chaotic and then you have to get distracted just kind of keeping yourself alive and jumping, then you're not healing as efficiently as you would be anyway, right?
Right.
So it's like if you play at range and get that steady healing output, I think in the end it ends up being just as good.
Okay. It's
But-
like in a way I should be like positioning as Anna, kind of as Anna would.
Kind of, yeah. And I think against the Nanoblade in particular, I think the key is like really using the boots to try to avoid the first slash if possible. If you can dodge one slash, that can be really, really big.
Gotcha.
Because the time to kill is so much faster with Nanoblade, right? So if you can buy some extra time and play closer to your Brig, and if you can kind of avoid, like, jump past the first slash, and then maybe the Brig lands a stun, then you throw Lamp out, and then that takes, like, 2 of his slashes, right? Or, like, a dash or something, and just buy time, you're going to get a lot of value that way. But, I mean, again, a lot of these things are just contextual, right? So...
Yeah. Social distance.
So this is their attire?
Yeah, and I just lamp here, but no one comes to it. I'm just awkwardly looking at everyone running away from my lamp. But it kills our Sig anyways. He was playing spread on the right side.
Don't you think we
so-
could have like waited more on the lamp? Did we need to throw it
Um,
immediately?
So my like theory with lamp is that I generally can't, or it's like I think if I I don't know.
So my
I'm
theory
like
is
I'm very hesitant about throwing lamp as a reaction. Like I don't want to wait until I feel like the tire is close to throw it, because sometimes you just like misjudge it and you just like end up dying.
yeah, a lot of it
But
is based on
then it,
audio in the case of the tire.
yeah, but then you could argue like maybe I should have just been standing back here where I am right now, and then I could react a little bit faster that way.
Yeah, and I think in general your team probably doesn't want to play further forward if the enemy's tiring in. Because if
Yeah.
you play further back, you give your team more time to break the tire. And also, I don't know if anyone was really standing up there. I mean, I guess your junk was in that hallway. Where is your Orisa right now? Oh, maybe she was there.
Yeah, maybe the better play is just to, like play back, right, and like look, and like throw the lamp if you can to save someone. It's like otherwise. Yeah, I don't know.
You do wait a few seconds, but it's just like if the team pushed. Yeah, I mean, and no one's using the lamp. And if the team pushed, I mean, it's well positioned behind a corner, but like if they just have more time to break it too, I feel like. If they started to W forward a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I do think you pointed out a good thing. Maybe you should have just been a little further back. I mean, this is not really your fault though. Like the junk ends up getting caught by the tire, but at the end now we just don't have lamp, right? So
Yeah.
our brig is pretty far forward over there. We're crazy split.
Alright, yeah. Ash just gets
Okay, I mean,
ganked on.
yeah, you would have stayed alive a few more seconds if you're in the window, but that was already lost, so there's really no point in.
Yeah, just resetting there.
Alright, so they have Nano Blade again, so this will be
Oh god, something very
definitely
embarrassing.
interesting.
This doesn't look like Masters Sylvius is. I'd agree. This is just, I mean, this is what I was saying when I thought you know, Masters isn't that scary. Yeah, so we win this fight off tire.
I'd probably be shooting the Genji more. Yeah, I guess when your brig was dueling the Genji down there was a window to shoot him a little bit more, but that's just a minor nitpick. We can keep going.
Yeah, I guess I was hesitant to drop off high ground.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
whatever
'cause
reason,
you can
even though I can just jump back up.
Yeah, yeah. Because especially, it's worth going for that duel, I think, because it's the fight's not really started at that point, and your whole team is there. And honestly, the Genji should not be able to kill you there because your brig's there, so.
Okay, you're about to see me fucking brick, dude.
I'm excited. They have the Torb now? Okay.
Children, don't look. Don't look at your. Don't look at this.
I like
Actually,
the
no.
window.
Actually, we win this fight, but we overcommit ults here. Alright, let me ask you this. What do you think about that? Drop and then lamp. Well, should I have just stayed on high ground, lamped up there, and then dropped when it broke?
Let's look at it again. See a nice window. I mean, you guys do pop a lot of Qs, but
Pops the blade.
no, I don't think so. Hold on,
Okay.
let's think about this. Because, okay, yeah, this is the one thing that I was wondering as well. But what I realized was, no, if you stay up there and lamp, the Genji, I think, is going to kill you. Because he'll just slash, because you're alone, and the Brig is not going to pack you.
Alright.
And you can't drop if you lamp up top because then he can just drop down and kill you. So dropping here was actually allowed you to kind of play more with the team, and because you're coming back down to the ground, it allowed you to you have a critical jump back up in here, which allows you to like dodge a swing, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
didn't think
I baited his dash to get. He used dash to get up to me, right?
yeah.
And so if I drop and then if I think I tried to jump back up. I can't remember if this was the particular fight, but I think I like failed to jump back up. But it's like if I had made it back up, I definitely would have. I think I survived, but
If you stay up here, right, it's okay. I guess your Brig actually might have been able to bail you out, but that's a play that the Brig would have needed to make. But like, this is a 1v1. It's a full health nanobladed Genji versus a BAP.
yeah,
Even if it's lamp, right? And remember what we said, right? Because it's just a slash and a dash.
yeah,
Because the slash or the even though he's not gonna kill you with one hit because you have immortality, it's still gonna do the damage to you up until like whatever immortality. It gives you a minimum of what, like 50 shield or something, like I don't remember exactly what it was, but like I think that Genji can get the kill pretty easily if you stay up here.
okay.
And you can't really unfortunately jump up here
Dude, I
because the
think-
roof, the ceiling, right?
Yeah, so like I feel like in that first fight on point, right? I feel like my entire mentality when trying to play against the Genji is that like I want to like get as close to my Brig as possible, which is maybe why I kept like, or like I was avoiding that high ground because I was afraid of the Genji just like destroying me on his own.
Right, we're talking
But-
about first point now.
Yeah,
But a critical, maybe I didn't say this explicitly in that fight, but like a critical part of that fight is I knew that, now obviously we're looking at it back, but like the Genji didn't have blade in that situation.
right. Well, yeah, it was after he bladed.
Right. So that's why I think it would have been safer to get back and restage. But here, I actually think, man, the way you set up that fight, I thought that was going to be something very different. I didn't think that that was all that bad.
It's the next fight.
Oh, okay.
I do
So
something very stupid. So I try to jump back up and I just hit my fucking head.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that you're able to stay alive here is, I mean, sure, yeah. The fact that you're able to stay alive here is really good. And they, you know, so they use Nano Blade, they use Mines, they just switch the Torb. And what did you guys use? Bongo, Window. Did you bop there, or did you just switch to Ash?
But I'm pretty I don't know. We use a lot. That's yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
how
like
did-
my feeds. Yeah, he
What?
feeds.
What is he even doing out there? How is that even possible? Wasn't he
This is-
just on
this is-
point?
This is High Masters, you guys. High Masters gameplay right here. Oh. Yeah, see, again, right? I'm scared, and I feel like I just dropped it. Okay, now I did something stupid here.
What is this? What is this? Alright.
Ooh. Ooh.
Alright. Well, I mean, you're a really smart player. I mean, so, I think the important thing to think about, like, especially for everyone else watching, it's like, how would we have played that differently, right?
Should I have held my ground on high ground?
So that's the first part of this. I think that's the first question we can explore. So it's like,
Do I win against a Genji like that is the question.
so I think he was packed, and I think it really depends. Like, at some point, you probably are going to need support from your Brig, but if you lamp yourself, if you shift yourself, and you shoot him, and eventually if you get a pack, you can... It's hard to win the duel, but it is very feasible to sustain up there for a long time. I think, personally.
So, basically what I'm learning is that I just need to trust my Brig to pack me. And, like, control the high ground.
I think
I think in the end, my cross across the point is just like stupid. I
So
should have done that.
So that was the big mistake. So I
Yeah,
actually
so
feel
I
that
think
your decision to
dropping-
drop wasn't actually that bad.
Yeah, I think
Um,
dropping is fine, right? But I should have just kited back around the left side and just like thrown lamp across the point to the right.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know. I couldn't even remotely explain to you why I walked across there.
I mean, we all have
But-
moments our brain just shuts off. But yeah,
I just like
it's like the drop,
stupid
and
move.
then you kind of tunneled on the Ash. You can just heal her at range, like...
yeah. Again, that comes back to just like feeling like I need to be close to get that quick healing, but then I just like overextend or I just out
Yeah.
of position.
Yeah, so I think that might be like more of the takeaway. So it's like certainly like high ground, whether we want to keep it or not, that's maybe more contextual. But certainly like I don't think you necessarily always need to be on top of the core, especially if it puts you in the midst of like the brawl to the point that it's just chaotic and you're either going to die or you can't even like properly use your cooldowns. Oh wow. Okay, so this is over, isn't it?
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, I think we get it. That.
No dying on my.
All right. Widow Tracer. So yeah, here I think we're really just heavily investing in the front line, letting our Brig deal with our DPS. Yeah, so here I think it makes sense to be with the core. You're attacking, trying to take space. I think the lamp idea is reasonable. I mean, probably could have been closer to the wall or in the, but that's alright. I don't know what the comms were, if like the team made a decision on where to path, but
My break feeds here. And then
I mean,
die.
in general, yeah, the team looks like you guys were not very decisive. You can't just stand in that room against their comp, but
Yeah.
that's more I think macro oriented. So
People are a little lost for sure. Dude, is that the same Rhino my team as that guy we were talking about yesterday?
I don't know if is there a way for me to check profiles? I don't know.
Probably not. But
Probably not, because he's a tank player. So I don't know how his DPS is.
well, he saw super.
That's true.
Smart. Apparently all main tanks are just god Genjis. Oh, like you yourself.
Yeah.
Main tank.
I like this
god
window.
Genji. Window to get in.
So I think,
Corner.
especially if we know that they have Nano Blade, the lamp was around the corner, right? Or was it?
Yeah, it was, but I think I definitely wasn't tracking the blade. I remember specifically not being ready for that.
Right, and the thing that stood out to
But-
me is you definitely need the jump,
Yeah.
the boots against Nano Blade. I think it's really important. Again, like going back to like avoiding that first slash. Right. Let's actually. I'm curious what that looked like from there at Genji's POV.
But honestly, I don't even know if we like. I don't know if there is a way to live that. With what, like, we have nothing and only a window. And basically only immortality. It's like maybe I should have played back, but I feel like I was like more focused on just getting the window up first. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty clean. He was pretty patient. That's tough. But it's like once that window is set, it's like, yeah, I think you at least have to make him work a little bit for it, right?
Yeah.
Have the boots up, maybe jump to the high ground, make it like a juke. I mean, he cleans up pretty nicely anyway, but
Yeah, I think unfortunately he just caught me off guard there. I'm not... Yeah.
I mean, this comp is also kind of rough, but
It is tough.
Tracer, like, really needs to get into their back line. Okay. Yup. This is also lost. They pop a lot of Qs. I will say there are times where you're kind of doing like little hops with the boots. This is again more of a nitpick. I just feel like a lot of those hops aren't necessary. Especially again, I guess they don't have hit scan in this situation, but I think just be mindful of that. Like, I don't think you want to do it out of habit, right? Like, you want to be intentional with trying to juke with it, or trying to get to high ground or something.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, so, like, I mean, I guess the reason behind that is just, like, to have it, like, or just to have my, like, finger on the charge button so that I can, like, juke if I need to, like, faster.
Okay. Yeah, you just don't want it, like, because it also slows down your movement speed in some respects, right? Like, so, like, if you're trying to, like, go right, like, you know how it is with like, getting through, like, the Hanamura choke, right? It's crazy. Like, it's hard. So, like, the only reason I brought that up is it's, like, you know, if you're trying to get into that room, like, don't, like, waste time. But, that really had nothing to do with the outcome of that fight. That was just something small I noticed. Keeping the Brig up. He swapped to ball. I mean,
I'm not really sure how we win this, but we win it.
I like the window. Also, probably could have potentially been a little further up, but that would have been a little riskier. In the end, he gets a good amount of value.
He was like, barely misses the brig, yeah, sad.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that one mistake on defense, it's not like you've been feeding or anything. Your team is just kind of getting evaporated. It's unfortunate your comp is not very good, but...
Most unfortunate. That happens quite often.
But I think certainly, like, since your comp is kind of lacking that synergy, I almost feel like it's even more important to, like, really look for damage when you can. And kind of adapt more of that aggressive BAP playstyle. Because it's not like you're going to be pumping heals around a corner to, like, an Orisa, right? You have more of that brawl. So, okay, ball just kind of fed.
Dude, that guy was like the only GM player we had on our team. He like fed the most.
Yeah, so you guys either need to go left here or push top right and clear them. This is tough.
Yeah, just get naded and melted. It's like I don't know what to do there.
The only thing you could have done is just throw the lamp a little faster, but even then you're probably going to lose this fight.
Yeah, it's like throw it faster and maybe like a little bit less forward, but you know, we probably lose that one anyways.
It's just, you know, double shield against Ryan Ball. It's like the ball needs to... It's
Ranked. We love it.
I mean, basically my thought process is the only way it works is like, you know, obviously you want to on some level clear high ground because you don't want to give that up for free, right? So maybe like the ball rolls main or something or flanks behind them and knocks them off the high ground, or like he rolls up the stair right as like you guys are pushing.
Yeah.
I
think he was trying to do that. I don't know if he ever accomplished it.
Okay, they actually swapped to Ryan themselves. The other thing is mainly maybe going upstairs and pushing left and kind of staging you, Kree, Brig up there.
Yeah.
Because like trying to force yourself through that tiny room when they have Torb and they have double shield. We have window here, so we could look for it. Yeah, yep. This I'm definitely on board with. Yeah, nice heals. That's unfortunate. A little hop. You got chipped yourself.
I gotta back up into another pool behind me.
Yeah, you had to kind of hit the little hop to like get through here without touching that. That's very tricky though, because you had Molten Core on one side and a Nano Blade on the other.
Yep.
I don't... Could we have
saved? Is there any way I could have won that? So like, I think maybe I could have saved Lamp, but
that's the one thing I want to look
at
here. Because we...
I think I was just like low, and I was just like wanted to.
Yeah, we could have saved Lamp a bit. That was.
I mean, I know I didn't need it.
I get this is like the typical Lamp to kind of hold the space and really make use of the window, right? And the only issue here is the fact that they had Nano Blade. So had they not had Nano Blade, this I think would have been okay.
Right. And then maybe I could have kept my brig up.
Yeah, exactly. You keep the brig up and win that duel. Oh man. Yeah. So I think that's it. The Lamp.
Right. If we had Lamp there.
Like that hop is tough to hit. Do you guys end up winning this?
Don't
okay, you
think
got a
so.
tick though.
There's
yeah,
no
that could have been so big, because like if that's both your healers.
Yeah. Ball got 4 though. Too bad everyone else died. Kind of on me, but.
So this is gonna be tough because they have Flux and you guys are pushing top left. Oh, keep Zarya up. Why is Zarya getting so sidetracked? Is that a Genji she's killing, or what is she killing?
Yeah, Genji.
Oh man, Zarya needs to be up here with the team.
Dynasty, dude.
Like if they Flux right here and we don't have... Is she... That Zarya's never coming, is she? Okay.
I mean, that guy's
Oh
just
my.
like, I mean, that guy's been throwing the entire game, dude, and he loses too.
Oh, okay. It got the win, but
Oh yeah, she won. I forgot, but he's like won and like by himself a choke. We
Alright,
go.
so
I
this
actually
one
don't.
it's
I actually
winnable.
don't remember if we capped this.
Nice hop.
I don't remember this actually. No, we
I.
don't.
This is another situation where I just feel like
I
it
could
would have
be
been
on high
nice to
ground.
be on high ground.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Like, especially if you're up there with like a Kree, because they don't really have hit scan, right? They have Torb, Genji, and it's like, if you're that Genji and you force him, even if he does kill you with Nanoblade, but you force him to have to dash all the way up here, that allows the Kree to take more shots, that also takes pressure off the front line. Now this guy just gets the camp point and clean up. I mean, see, the thing is, again, it works for a while. You get a decent window off, you keep the team up for a bit, but then in the critical moment when they have the Nanoblade, it's like, I mean, you know it yourself, right? You have to play further back, so...
Yeah.
And I mean, you know how it is with map control on Hanamura V, right? Like, this high ground is just so good. But I think, honestly, that game was just mostly, like, good basics, and it was just a few, like, small mistakes in terms of, you know, just playing around
Positioning.
Nanoblade positioning, and maybe saving Lamp for it, if possible, and just making the Genji, honestly, work harder.
Yeah.
But I mean, mostly it's yeah. I don't think it's any sort of crazy revelation or anything like that. It's probably a lot of stuff that you already know.
Yeah, I guess my biggest takeaway from that was just like sometimes, or it's like I don't know. It just feels like I'm not giving. Oh, I don't know. It's like on other heroes, like Anna, it feels
Yeah.
like my positioning is so much more natural. For some reason on BAP, I struggle to like, or I don't feel comfortable like maintaining the high ground or something.
Yeah,
Or like I'm not comfortable yet like jumping back up mid fight, something like that.
right. And you just have to think of what threats are coming. I actually just kind of wanted to look at this, right? It's like, I guess one question I have is like, did we ever really need to drop from high ground, right? Like, why did we drop in the first place? So we see a Sigma pushing us, but it's like, our Ryan is also like going full on to deal with him, right? And we have, wasn't someone here?
True.
Like Curry. So it's like, even here at this point, I would argue we didn't really need to drop. And then it's like you're dropping, and what are you trying to do? Save Ash? But like,
Yeah, I don't
are you
remember.
really able to save her anymore by dropping, right? And then it's like now we're, you know,
Yeah, she wasn't even like that.
and so
low.
now we're here, which I would argue is very risky, because if they blade or something, you're closer to the fight. Also, this I don't know. I mean, it's chaotic, so I don't know if you realize this Torb was here, but I definitely wouldn't want the Torb to just drop and W into me. I'd much rather be like up here.
Right.
And now we're here. I mean, that was a good mid-fight jump, though. It doesn't get you to the high ground, but at least, you know, you say that that's also a good lamp. I mean, I think you need that lamp there.
Managed to dodge the shatter, but that's the only good thing that came out of that.
It's tricky, because it's like, once you were on the low ground, it was very difficult to find an opportunity to really reset on the high ground. The one was maybe if you, when you did the boost to evade the shatter, if you could have gotten all the way just back up to the ledge.
I think it's just easier if I just sat on high ground and just didn't drop off, right? It's like,
But yeah, we did, yeah, going back to that beginning, I don't know if you
like
needed
I
that.
don't, like we can maybe be like, oh, you should be more comfortable jumping the high ground in mid fight, but it's like, why not just make it easier and just sit on high ground as long as possible?
Right.
I feel like that's probably the biggest thing.
And it's like, I know you know this, especially with Ana, right? It's like, that's definitely huge with Ana play. It's like, don't just drop from high ground for no reason. Especially because she doesn't have, like, the boots, right? So, like, she can't just get back up there.
Right.
But, like, with BAP, it's like, you know, just because you can get back up easier, that doesn't necessarily mean you
can just,
need
you should
to.
just drop, yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely a habit I gotta work on.
Any preferences between the other two? I kind of want to look at Oasis personally first, but
Sure, yeah, go for that one. I don't quite
curious
remember
how-
Oasis, but I think I was playing Brig, so we can look at my Brig play now.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to look at some Brig, because I haven't looked at Brig in a VOD in a while.
I could have used a little more time to get ready.
What happened this game? I feel like the tank line wasn't synergized. Yep. Well,
Okay,
actually,
so we sort of have
oh
spam.
yeah, actually we did have an okay comp. Oh, I think.
Okay, and they have dive. Interesting.
So this one, I was struggling to figure out where to be. Like, right?
Okay.
Should I be at the front line or should I be sitting with my Anna in the back? And I feel like I wasn't too sure how I should have wanted to look at this, but
So the interesting thing about the way you phrase that is like because, and I guess we'll see how this map plays out. But
I mean, just from like just looking back now
uh-huh.
and having the comfort, like now that I'm looking at the other team and seeing that they have dive, my
Yeah.
instinct is to be like just sit with my Anna, right?
Well, what I was going to say was yes, but at the same time, like the Ana, like you guys should be close to your front line too. So it's not like
Right.
it's not like an either or in this situation. Like you guys in general, like should like yes, you should be sitting with your Ana, who should also be kind of close to your core and front line because, I mean, as you know, like dive is gonna thrive on like isolated targets, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think like you, Ana, Kree really play bunched up, and you guys in general should be pretty close to your tanks, and you guys preferably are.
Well, I'll tell you that macro part of that did not happen. So
Yeah, and ideally you'd be playing like over there. That's where spam really thrives, especially against dive, but that's probably not going to happen. That's okay.
immediately, our team is already spread out.
So yeah, I mean they're on dive. You got to really tighten up immediately. Oh,
Yeah, my thought.
man.
Yeah. So
I mean, this is not. I don't mind you pushing this, but it's just the fact that this is already sloppy. So I mean, as the fight kind of becomes chaotic, I think your priority needs to be just make sure your Ana is able to stay alive. Maybe the positioning's not going to be perfect, but as long as you keep tabs on her every once in a while, and your Kree maybe, I think those should be your priorities. In the end, you
Yeah, I
guys end up
think-
getting picks.
pushing up there, I was like telling the crew I was just gonna stick with him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you made a play by peeling for your Korean Sigma, who I think were back, or Genji or Sigma, whoever was back
Genji,
there.
yeah, Genji Sigma.
Because I also would have been like, I feel like it would have been dangerous to push that because that duel just as easily could have gone the other way, but it does work out. So, I mean, now they're already on double shield. So, I mean, now just to be clear, now that they're on double shield, I 100% would err on the side of sitting with your Ana. Now it's a little bit different, right? Because you and Ana don't necessarily need to be stacked on your tanks. And their Genji and Tracer are going to be looking to try to... I mean, it's going to actually be difficult to get on your backline if you guys play properly. Because if you play too, like, close to the front line, their tanks are going to have more of an ability to focus you down, and your Ana is going to be more exposed in the Tracer. Like, she could harass a lot more. Genji as well. So yeah, like, where's your... I feel like you're playing too far away from your Ana here.
Well, yeah. So I crossed over to this side where she was originally, and then she went back.
And then
over
she
there.
went, yeah.
Yeah,
She is
she's
kind of
like-
running away from you too.
Yeah. She's like
Just a little unfortunate.
making my job a little hard there, but
But I would say, you know, your tank should be probably playing close together. Like, you, Kree, Ana can be a nice little trio, and then your Genji can poke from, like, an off angle.
My ultimate is fully charged. Get in there.
And they have Blade, so it's very important that, like, you're sitting with your Ana, you have cooldowns. You need Bash and Flail, preferably. And maybe even a pack, just in case, but really Bash and Flail.
yeah, for some reason we nano Kree there instead of our Genji, and our Kree just feeds.
It's a big rally. So I'm probably gonna rewind this a little bit, but I mean, so this is fine. I think. I mean, you guys are losing it eventually. I guess you just have to kite back a little sooner. But I mean, the one thing I will say is, like, if you know they have Nano Blade, I don't know if you were tracking it, but I just feel like it's dangerous to use Bash if you don't have to.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't actually remember where I used Mesh, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't in an essential situation. Because you could have definitely gotten... The Genji went elsewhere, but... It was just a mobility, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I was just like, why did our Kree do that, right? It's like,
Wait, so
Hey,
what
that-
exactly did the Kree do? Maybe I guess I wasn't really...
he just walked forward in front of the tanks and just died. And again, I don't know if it's really worth looking at, to be honest, but
Oh, he's
I
just
feel
like
like a large part of my confusion is just like, so I use bash to try to save him, right? To try to get over there and pack him.
okay. From my
Yeah, there's-
POV, it didn't seem like you really could have that bash was doing much other than remobility, like kind of repositioning. But even then, like you couldn't really save him, right? Like
yeah.
based
I
on
mean,
where he was
that's-
positioned.
I mean, that just goes back to the classic mistake of a support over, or like
Yeah.
trying to save someone who's like just straight up feeding, right? Like yeah, it's like not worth saving.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess.
way too far up. And man, it's that Genji easily could have gotten like a 2 or 3K if he was able to secure the kill on the Ana, turn dash on you. It's a big rally though.
I just feel like part of my struggles here is like when the team plays so split, like I just don't know where to be, right? It's like I end up burning my bash to like try and save someone who's like on the other side of the point. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that's where we kind of go back to like the priorities. It's like number 1, I think keep the Ana. Number 2, if possible, keep the Kree. It's probably the one that needs more assistance.
But
Kree
like,
or
let me ask
Genji,
you
but
this.
like
You say I should be staying with the Ana, right? But it's like you see their brig is just like playing with their tank line and just like running over our tanks. So it's just like
well, part of that is because she has rally though, right? I mean, you did just rally, but like and also they're up in the fight.
yes.
And that brings up a good point, right? It's like the playstyle can change as the fight evolves, and like there's more of an opportunity, and there's like your Ana's not going to like.
Okay.
So part of me saying, you know, make sure like maybe I should rephrase that. It's not that you always need to be like right on the Ana, but like you need to make sure that that like backline is stabilized and that she's like okay, right? If you know for a fact that she's gonna be all right, then like by all means, yeah, sure, like you can push up more.
Gotcha.
It's like they were already up, I think, 2 in the fight, right? When they
Yeah.
started pushing that.
This might need a few adjustments.
And the brig had rally, so it's like I think that's part more of why it makes more sense to go on the front line. Like certainly, yeah, you can do work on the front line as brig, but like if she doesn't have rally there, that looks very different, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, we have 98% though. We just need to win one fight. We're kind of just posturing. Yeah, that bash makes a lot of sense. Packing the Ana, that's good. Yeah, that, I mean, it's a big flux. I don't think you could have done anything different there. And we're just resetting. All right, nice. Yeah, that was fine. So that's Sigma you probably could have pushed. Nice. Flail, nice. You played that pretty much fine, I think.
Do we even win this? I actually don't know if we win this.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
win it.
well, I know we don't win the map, but okay. So we actually did take a round. I actually don't remember that.
That Sigma was a bit isolated. I'm thinking maybe you could have pushed him a bit, but in the end, like
Yeah, I think I kind of tunneled on just trying to pocket the Genji, but he seemed okay.
what you did on the Blade was big though. I don't know if you. I thought you tried to hit a pack on the Ana in the end, which I think would have maybe been enough. Or did you hit it?
Yeah,
And you just still...
well, I think I remember thinking about whether I should spend the pack because I don't know if I don't think pack really saves from Blade, to be honest. So I don't know if that's even worth
That's fair.
spending a cooldown on. I think I was just mostly focusing on like backing away from him so he couldn't like dash to me.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I don't have a whole lot to say there because you did hit the bash and you hit the flail and you eventually killed him and you stayed alive, so I can't really critique that one too much.
Yeah, because I think before I was like kind of packing squishies who were getting bladed, but just like never saved them.
Yeah.
But maybe it could have saved Nana there because it's just like the solo Genji. I don't even know if he was he Nana? I don't think he was Nana, but okay, at this point I'm really bad at. I just don't know where to be, right? Because it's like if my tanks are just kind of stuck at this choke. I have no idea what to do because I'm not doing anything.
So
Right, it's like at most I can just pack them and maybe try and like hit a whip shot, and it's like my Genji's far left, right, and then my Kree's just sitting back here as well. It's just super awkward for me.
right. So this is actually difficult to pull off in ranked. In what you can do in a more team coordinated sense is like you can send like Brig Kree, for example, on like like a little duo, like to take this high ground, and that can be pretty powerful. And they can kind of peel for each other, and they have double stuns, right?
Yeah.
That's probably not happening in ranked. But unfortunately, all you can do is, like you said, kind of play slow, hit flails, and then what I would be. This is a minor thing, but like because you can't do much, right? Don't like stand in the open and burn shield too much. So use like. So like right here, I would not really ever do this. Like always like stand like up against this and like kind of peek, you know?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I just feel
Yeah.
like it's a
I feel
minor
like I was
thing,
just
and
like, I feel like I was just getting antsy and like trying to like
yeah,
look to do something, but it's like I guess I just gotta chill and pack.
because you
But it's like
never
our segment pushed up. I just wish our Arista pushed up because then I could have pushed up, right? It's like
right. And see, this is the problem, right? Because it's like because your Arista didn't push up, you really
Yeah.
can't. Unless the only way you could have pushed up is obviously not through main. You would have had to like maybe go with Sigma through this flank or something. So
Right.
what I would say is as Brig, because it's so awkward to push main in this open space, look for the flank angles. If you see like a Sigma pushing on the off angle or a Kree or maybe even the
Okay.
Genji potentially, like see if you
Right.
can like go with them.
Just take a off angle with the DPS or Sigma.
Yeah, because if you can win a duel on the flank, that's one of the best things you can do on Brig on this
Gotcha.
point, I
Yeah.
think.
Just like enable the flank and then
And again,
work
it's
from
like
there.
your Ana's pretty stable here.
Right.
They don't
Anna could probably
have
just cover.
the
Anna just covers
only
main heals maybe.
yeah, yeah, and she'll have your tanks. So really look for the
That's a
flanks.
good idea.
So yeah, we're not facing. I mean, okay, that's just I don't know what that Arista's doing. This makes sense. We stun the Sig. We can't overcommit to this, but yeah,
I actually missed that stun. Oops.
yeah. Packing the Genji makes sense. Nice trying to flail. Yeah. Yeah, we know our limits. Oh wow, you guys are winning this?
I don't. That doesn't sound right. Are we
Okay.
winning this?
Oh,
Okay,
you
good.
capped. Maybe you lose the fight, but you actually... That's actually kind of amazing. That was risky.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
Trying to be, I was trying to be big brain there, but it didn't work.
So this is like the tricky thing, right? Like, because on Brig, it's like you want to push forward, and it takes so long to have that opening.
Right.
And that's just the nature of the game, honestly.
Yeah, I think I fed there for sure. Although, how did our Anna die? Where was our Anna? What? This seemed like we lost anyways. Oh. Our Anna just gets picked off by the Kree?
Wait, let's look at this. Yeah, it's like you're so isolated right here. Like you got to be back in the hallway, or like maybe even back here.
Yeah, I should have just.
I mean, your
chilled.
team is also just.
My Arista got
it's the
pulled
Kree.
off.
The Kree just hit shots.
And then Kree hit shots.
I mean, I don't even blame your Ana too much there because she's just trying to keep whoever's left up, and
yeah,
that's lost.
Yeah, I fed for sure there.
But yeah, really look for off angles and opportunities to take 2v1s on the flank 100%. The main time you gotta be wary of like Ana is when they have Nano Blade or Blade. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, Bash makes sense. I mean, that's a bit unfortunate. I mean, you were just kind of caught. Yeah, you had to bash forward, right? I don't think there was any way you could have bashed backwards.
Right.
Because basically your thought process was, I'm going to bash forward in the thought that I might just get out of the flux altogether. Because I think based on where the circle was... Yeah. That's... And then you're unfortunately on the front line when you land, which you can't control. You try to back up. Yeah, that's not... They hit some ults.
Unlucky. Okay, here I kind of got flamed for rallying early, so you can tell me if it was like too early.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My initial thought process, just looking at the ults online, is that you probably should be rallying early rather than late. I mean, they have some big damage coming
like,
out.
I've been like trying to work on or I don't know, I felt like I've been like very hesitant about rallying like into a fight
Mm-hmm.
just to let the armor build up, right? Um,
Well, you
'Cause
want the armor to
I
build
think
up, right? Or
yeah, yeah, and so like, but before like, so like again, like before I was like, I would always rally. I feel like a little late,
okay, yeah.
whereas like I would kind of wait too late for them to engage, and then I would hit the rally.
Mm-hmm.
And then like like the armor wouldn't have been built up, so I was like trying to work on just like rallying early, but it didn't seem like the team actually did anything with it. And then Mr. Kutter's out. I was like, why the fuck did you rally so early? It's like I was like, well,
We'll see it. I think there's like a fine balance, so I'm curious what the actual timing was. Okay, okay, okay. We'll.
probably a little early, but also
I
we
think
just
that
didn't-
one
we
was a
just
little
didn't-
early.
It's probably a little bit early, but we also just didn't walk forward, right? Like we didn't do anything.
We were coming back from spawn, so they just literally like people were walking. They just.
Yeah, but then like like Orisa went main, or like I don't know. It's like it seemed like we wanted to push flank, but we still didn't push.
I mean, it definitely wasn't precise. Like I don't know what the comms were, but yeah, there was a little bit of dilly dallying. But on the whole, like if you just look at it from third person again, I can sort of see what's happening because you do kind of want a little bit of that armor. Like yes, you want it to build
Yeah,
up,
I
but you want a
think-
little bit of overlap between it and the fight, right? So if people take chip damage, they still get that.
Yeah, I think it was I was definitely like it was definitely early. I think I was underestimating how fast the
Yeah,
armor
because there's no
built up.
Lucio, right? I would be thinking of more rallying closer to like here, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
I am very curious to see how this fight plays out, though, regardless. So now they bongo, their Genji is probably really waiting for that blade opportunity. I mean, he's looking for it for sure. Okay, so we have our cooldowns for blade. We still have rally armor. So I just think, again, we're playing too close to the front line in that situation. Like, when they have blade...
but-
Like, because you can't even see the Genji, right? Like, you have to hit the shield basher or the flail.
Yeah, but we already like we lose 2.
It happened really quickly, but I still... I mean, I guess they... Was that an accidental nano on the brig?
I have no idea.
Let's look at it from third person.
They bongo to answer the rally. To get a big nade on us. Unlucky. We use our own nade. We decide to go main. Bongo's still up at this point. Our tanks are taking already half. I'm just trying to proc inspire there. But we're already won.
Right, but...
Like I don't like if I stay with Anna there, I don't know if we save anyone.
Well, you could have definitely hit the shield bash, for sure, and then probably a flail after, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like you say, like, yeah, we can look at the kill feed and say, you know, you were 2 down, but it happened in, like, a split second, right? Like, you weren't really, like, 2 down. Right?
Yeah,
You guys just kind of get wiped. But, again, I just feel like you have to make, like, what's the priority as Brig there, right?
Right.
It's like, what were you, like, okay, yeah, sure,
Like, my
proc
thought
inspire.
process is
Yeah,
just,
what's...
just to enable the front line to push in, because up until this point we hadn't even like pushed on the point. Like I don't even like every single time we walked up to that choke, we just never pushed.
So...
And I just wanted to like enable the front line. And that being said, though, I don't think I was tracking that blade.
Right. So what I would say to that is, okay, sure, that makes sense. I understand what you're saying, but if they have nano blade, it's very difficult to push into that anyway. Because like if you push into that, that's exactly what they want. Because then your backline gets kind of exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually
That's
have to
fair.
take the fight,
Yeah.
I think, slower. I think in this situation, is I guess my thought process. Like you know how strong Genji is right now, right? And like certainly with nano blade, like that has to be, I think, the top priority at all costs. And I'm not saying, you know, to be clear, like, maybe you lose that fight anyway, right? But, like, again, like, just making the Genji work for it a little bit more, you never know. You hit the bash. Like, you did it on the first point, right? You hit the bash, you hit the flail, like...
Right.
At the end of that first point, you won the fight. Like, you never know.
So basically, I should... Yeah, I don't know. It seems like this game I've been just, like, very impatient about or like I just haven't felt comfortable like sitting with Anna. I don't know if I sat with Anna like yet, but I feel like I've been worrying about trying to babysit the tank line more than the Anna.
Right.
Um,
And what I would say is two things. Number one is like, let's think about this. Like, how much can you actually babysit the tank line as Brig?
right.
Like, I would argue
Maybe I'm
Anna, Bab,
over.
like these characters do way more to babysit or like bail out tanks than Brig can.
True. I think you know what, that is a good point, right? Because like Inspire heals, like I don't even know how much that does, but it's really not that much. It's strong. It
Yeah.
is strong. But I don't know if it saves a tank.
And it's not
That's a good
worth
point.
pushing, like overextending just to proc it, right? Like,
Right. Okay.
something I was thinking about, right, is like one thing that I think is fascinating about Brig is like, because we I know like we've talked about like setting tempo, right? Like especially like in tank VODs, right? Like that's really big for tank play, like someone like Ryan. But like I
Yeah.
think one fascinating thing with Brig is like you can kind of in like the opposite way set the tempo from the back line, right? And like what does that mean? That's like positioning differently based on like the enemy ultimates and really understanding when you want to push forward. Because like when Brig finally does push forward, if you do it at the right time, it's like that's when your team is all in kind of brawling, right? But the thing is, for a while,
Right.
like especially in spam, you have to be so. And I know you know this, but like you have to be so. I think this is part of why Brig is hard to play. Like, you have to really like know your limits, and you have to end up, in a practical sense, waiting a long time. Before you really kind of push, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. I mean that. Your tank line just kind of got rolled.
All right. So what? Okay. So okay, this is good. Yeah, because I feel like. Yeah, we can keep going, but. Yeah, it seems like I just need to chill out and just let my other healer take care of the tanks.
Yep.
Yeah, I take care of the rest of the team.
Yep.
Which I feel like I was doing at first, and for some reason, I just like developed this bad habit of like, oh, maybe I should play with the tanks more, or like I felt like I needed to be with the tanks more.
Yeah, and it may be, and maybe this is not the right reason why, but I do think that in Overwatch there's this fundamental like compulsion to like try to be as active as possible and just do as much as
Right.
possible in a given moment. And certainly if you get to the front line, you're much more active in the brawl, right? But it's just way more dangerous. This is why I think Brig is challenging to play, because what I'm suggesting with this more passive like playstyle with like kind of really establishing the backline first is like you end up waiting for long periods of time. It's not intuitive, and it really tests your patience and limits, honestly, because it's so tempting to constantly push forward, but you can just get punished for that, the way the game currently plays. All right,
Yeah.
so our team is looking like we're taking the high ground. We're packing DPS. All this is fine. Ooh, that was almost a crazy pull. So again, I'd be very careful face tanking. Our shield's already done. Like, I'd probably be playing a little further back and maybe at an off angle. Like, yeah, we're like.
Yeah, yeah, I think I was a little bit too far up.
Yep, repositioning using our tanks for cover. Yeah, I mean, I think on some level you kind of had to. Wait a minute, where's our Ana?
My god, that kind of molds me on this point. I don't even know where she was.
What? Okay, I don't. I think you did a lot of good things there. I think your Ana definitely probably did not. I think. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's just be careful up here on the high ground, right? I mean, you see again, like when you play close to the front line, it's like yes, you're more active, but you also can take a lot more of a punch from the enemy. Or like you're taking more heat from the enemy, right? So it's like
Yeah.
constantly finding that balance of like, are you in a like, can you like afford to do that? Like in the neutral, it's always a bit dangerous. To be fair, I mean, you guys did take high ground first. Your Ana definitely messed up there, I think, for sure. And I didn't even look at where she was playing, but. Alright, so we are pushing through this room. We should probably chill for a second because we're antied. Okay, we see their Genjis and nanoed, so we need to have cooldowns ready. Bash, flail, good. So here it's like 100%, you know, you're way up in the fight, you can just go crazy with an all-out brawl, right? Like, at this point, you can really push forward. But on that fight, if you notice, you really have to wait a while, because, like, you know, they had Nano Blade, they had a lot of threats, so... Once the threats are cleared, it's... Nice. So you could have stayed alive longer here. Like, I actually think that... Was this winnable? It was a 3v3, right? I feel like I would have actually hovered around here more, tried to pack the Genji as much as possible, flail, and as soon as someone was like one, like a Genji or something, then push forward and swing and win that duel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, again, this is just like biding the time.
Right.
Because you just kind of pushed into point, maybe got a little bit of ult charge.
I feel like I just have this like bad understanding of like, or like I don't know. I just like.
So it's like right here. It's like this. Yeah. Go ahead.
Or like I just don't. I guess I'm just not comfortable just like chilling out behind a corner or something and using packs only. But it's like I feel like that's just how you have to play Brig right now.
Yep, that's the pack bot right there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this just goes back to being alive, right? You get more value.
Right, and it's because like this fight is far from over. It's like what 5v5, 4v5. Like you guys might even be up one.
Yeah. For some reason, I just like feel like I need to get in to get value.
And it's like, if nothing else, you just want to stall as long as possible, right? And just walking onto point is making it easier for them to just clean you guys up. Like your Ana is still up. You still have, what is that? Both DP or. You have Genji, and I guess your Ana dropped here. That's a bit unfortunate. But, like... Yeah, I mean, I think you walking onto point here, it's just easy for them to focus you down. It's just suicide. Like, play slower, play back around the pillar, pack as much as possible, or rotate high ground, and then drop afterwards. Because, like, you have a full health Sig and Genji. And one of them, if you stay up, might be able to build an ult, right? Imagine if you can build Blade.
Right, yeah. Oh, my feeder. Oh, it's my worst nightmares come true. Just kidding. Who am I kidding, dude? We already knew that.
We already knew.
Feeder Brig. Feeder Bep. But that's why we all play Overwatch. We like feeding.
Alright, so we're chilling. I mean, again, it's like, this is tough for Brig. It's like, you obviously you want to cap point again, but it's like, you gotta be patient. It's going to take a little while for the attack to develop. And you just have to wait for your team to kind of create the opening and just pack in the meantime. Try to proc Inspire as much as possible. Okay, our DPS are investing. We got 2 kills. This is very winnable. Okay, now you can just, at this point, yeah, all out brawl, like... You see you're up 2 or 3 there? Yeah, 100% you can... You said we lose this map? Alright, interesting.
Oh yeah. You'll probably see why we lose this. And it's, I don't know if it's really on me, to be honest.
Alright, well... But I mean, things we're thinking about is a break here, right? It's like they have Nano Blade, that's absolutely critical. How do we want to use the rally? They also have Flux. They also have High Noon.
Yep. We just mess up our odds here.
So yeah, rally timing I think is reasonable. So I'd be trying to duel that Genji. Yeah, that was a bit tough. I don't know. I mean, they had a lot of ults. I don't know if you guys had many besides rally.
We had rally and Flux.
Okay, well, I guess your flux didn't get...
So we either missed the flux. I personally thought he just didn't flux early enough, but
Yeah, you guys did kind of let them walk in.
Yeah, we just always we either could have fluxed the blade or we could have just like fluxed early, but we didn't do either. Like he fluxed reactively, and then my rally got nothing because we all split, and then I had to kite away from the Genji, right? And they tried to flux me too.
Right.
So I kited both the flux and the Genji, and it's just like I couldn't do anything.
Maybe we can...
And the team didn't kite together, so. You can look at it from like a third person and see what happened, but yeah, we missed our own flux. Or he died too, like mid. Yeah, he got bladed.
I will say, maybe you didn't know if he had dash there. There was like a period where he was like walking up here and you kind of backed off around the corner. I don't think he had dash, but maybe that was a wrong assumption on my part. And I only bring that up to say that if you know he doesn't have dash, probably it's much easier to just bash him and flail him away. And that could potentially... I don't know if that would have swung the duel in your favor. But I do think with Brig, like, if you can swing duels, I think that's a huge part of her kit.
I feel like my thought process is just to, like... I guess, I don't know. Like, should I get... Like, yeah, if he doesn't have dash... Well, like, isn't it suicide to try and get close to the Nano Genji? It's like...
Yeah, that's the risky thing. And that's why I don't want to... It's... That was just something I noticed when I initially saw this. But, like, again, that's not, like... Yeah, that is definitely a riskier play, and it's not guaranteed value, so... Yeah, I mean, I don't think that last fight, you know, there's that many interesting learnings from your perspective. I think we already saw a lot of other stuff earlier in the map, but...
Cool. Unlucky. Alright, so what do we learn? I need to chill out. I need to abuse pack bot style.
Look for off angles and like the duels more if you can go with like a DPS or something, or secure
the off angles. Rally timing, not too early. Yeah.
And just setting tempo from the back and like knowing when to push forward, which is, I think for you it's like a lot slower than what your initial impulse is.
Yeah.
Especially when they have like Nano Blade.
Right, tracking blade, looking for the bash.
Because it's like, think about it from the Genji's POV, right? It's like if you're on the other team, you're the Genji, you're the Ana, right? You have Nano Blade. What do you want to do with that blade, right? Obviously, the best thing you could possibly do is kill the enemy supports.
Right.
So what can you as Brig do that? Make sure that you have the cooldowns and slow the Genji down as much as possible to make sure he doesn't kill at least one of the two supports, if not both, right? And it's like, if you're going to push frontline with the tanks in that moment, and then he goes backline for your Ana...
Yeah, so I mean, I'll present this thought, right? It's like, well, it's so Genji wants the supports.
Yeah.
So do I give him both of them supports who are just grouped up in the back, or should I play split? Maybe not necessarily with the front line, but like in a position such that he has to choose one or the other.
I mean, there is merit to one or the other, but I do think that like playing together isn't bad if you guys have cooldowns, and as long as you actually hit some of them.
True. If we have nade,
you have nade, you have sleep, you have bash, you have flail. Not to mention, and this is just speaking from the support's POV. Imagine if even one person from the rest of your team turns and like you had a Kree too, right? Like flashbang or like a random shot or an orb. You chip him down a little bit, like.
Right. Okay.
It's not free, right? Like Nanoblade's not. We've talked about this, right? Like it's. I mean, as strong as it is, I really don't think that it's free, and especially at like level you're at, I don't think it should be.
Fair. Cool. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick.
Yep, that's totally fine.
Need something? Hello.
Actually, I will be right back too. Okay, I'm back.
Okay,
You're back to okay, cool.
I'm back.
Looking at BAP again. All right.
Yeah, this one. So I can tell you.
Attackers incoming.
So I'm playing against that ball one trick I was complaining about yesterday on this map, and that guy. Or so I'll, or do you want to hear why I think I lost this game?
Oh sure,
And
sure,
like,
yeah,
like,
sure.
like I know. Like there's probably like there's definitely things I could have done better.
Yeah, yeah. I'm down.
But I thought the ball distracted my team way too much, and specifically, one of my DPS decided to switch to McCree just to counter the ball, and we just never even killed the ball anyways, right? He just fell for the classic ball bait, right? Of just like paying too much attention to the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I think it's the main reason why we lost this map, or this game. But we'll see. We'll see if I probably also fed. So
Activating the barrier. All good.
So, I'm assuming you're gonna die here, right?
no.
Oh. I just feel like a small thing there is maybe, like, should we have stayed so close to the front line?
So you think I should have like played on this bridge area, right?
Back? Yeah, maybe back
That's
here
right,
or
so,
like
like,
rotate.
again, Yeah, again, it's like that's where I would play if I was Anna, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't know, for some reason I just don't apply that to BAP for whatever reason. I just feel like I need to be like on the team. I guess for one, it's because like the shift right is kind of short range,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just like the grenades just like have travel time. I don't know,
Right.
but maybe it's just a really bad habit I've developed.
But it goes. I mean, yes, like that is those are both like correct statements. But it's like you getting knocked into the middle of that team like that,
Burning lamp too.
burning lamp, and I just feel like you easily could have died there, right?
Yeah.
And it's like what are we prioritizing at the end of the day? It's like if you can stay alive and kind of play the game at a slower pace, where you're not under as much duress, I think you're still gonna hit shots. And like if you need to be, like maybe you need to be more aggressive with lamp if you play further back, because maybe the grenades have that travel time like you said. But like at least then you're using lamp in a more valuable way, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, a tracer fed. I feel like at this point we should be on high ground 100%.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, you do get it here eventually.
I struggle to get there, but yeah, I get there, and then for some reason I drop back off.
Yeah. So it's like again, like even here, like still, I would want to be on high ground and stay here, pocket people as much as possible. I don't think you need to drop. Like just throw a lamp down, right? Like again, this is lost, but still, like it's like I just feel like you're dropping a lot. Like why are we dropping again there, right? Like.
Oh really? Oh. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. My brother, he sent me his. Oh shit.
What's happening?
My brother made some artwork for my channel. Oh, that's
really?
awesome, dude. That's sick. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, dude. That looks awesome. I gotta save that.
So long. It just takes forever.
The
to get,
highlights.
Like, smooth. And like there's still some spots that like chop.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, dude. That looks awesome. I like it. I like it a lot.
Dude, what is it?
Dude.
Find like a good style.
Yeah.
That, like confident.
I need to see this artwork at some point.
Here, let me share it with you. Oh, wait, why didn't it? Wait, what is the format of that?
What
PNG.
is this? PNG. Do I have something to open that?
PNG should work. Why does that not share the same though?
Oh,
Let me
why
let
did
me
I
try
try to
copy
open
that.
that in Notepad?
Copy link. There you go. That's easier to see.
Oh my god. That's great.
That's my cat.
I like it.
Dude, you can commission my brother as well to make you artwork
True.
if he wants to.
True. I gotta figure that out at some point. What my plan is for that, I will definitely let Mr. Dong know.
I need to change my profile. Anyways, sorry, I don't wanna.
No. I was just literally the only thing that kept happening here is just like stay on high ground.
Yeah.
You keep
I feel
dropping
like
for
some reason I just like I feel like some of those are just like me accidentally walking off, and then I don't know. It's just like I do just need to like.
I was
chill
kind of
out and
surprised because it happened a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And wow, you actually have a lot of respawns that came in.
Yeah, we actually survived this, I think. I was like, why did that drop there? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. In general. Yeah, I think the high ground positioning is something you really should explore and think about as BAP, like when you want to drop. Do you really need to? How to play at a longer range?
Yeah.
Nice jump. I like the lamp. Oh my word.
Oh yeah. No, you can just, you know, you know.
All right. It happens sometimes. Again, I think like I just hate that ball kind of rolling through and knocking you forward. I mean, it was heads up on you to jump and evade the shatter, but man, are you able to even get back and contribute to? Wow, you're able to get a pick on their Ana or Genji. That's huge. That's gonna slow them down. We're getting our brig up. Yeah, I mean that ball is creating chaos. Again, your tracer feeds is a good lamp. I don't think there's a whole lot you could have done differently there. You lose some, you bail your tank out, you try to evade the nano blade. It's hard to rotate further back. Obviously, it would be nice if you could have magically teleported once the blade came out, but that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
And realistically, Window would not have turned that fight, so if we're not doing it, I guess we didn't have it at the beginning of the fight, right? Wait, did we? Oh, we could have.
Maybe.
We could have windowed here, right? I didn't even think about that at first glance, but
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I was worried if that was actually gonna save anyone. But maybe.
what do you mean save anyone?
Well, because like, Arissa, I thought was just doomed.
So the
But-
window is not to save anyone per se. It's more to just like the best defense, like a good offense kind of thing. Just like potentially frag back. Maybe. I don't know. Who else is up here? Yeah, like with Sigma coming through, and I don't know if wasn't there a Genji around here? Don't you guys?
Yeah, you know what? I think we probably could have gotten a few frags.
And especially, I just think, you know. Yeah, there's a Genji like right there. Or this is not who I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at your POV 3. There we go. Like when this pull comes in too, right? There's like a pull that's about to come in here, and normally you're really good about this. I mean, I guess. It sounds like she went for the pull without really telling you, and this is like a split-second call. Like, it happened so fast when I first watched it, I didn't even think of this, but
Yeah.
maybe there was a play to be had there. That is a tough one to make, because that clearly wasn't communicated, and I don't know why your Arissa just walked like off the edge forward there. Maybe that was an accident. She should not have done that.
Oh, was it not the ball that knocked him off?
Oh, was it? Okay. Maybe it was.
Don't move.
Serve the barrier.
60 seconds remaining.
I guess you can watch it from the ball's POV. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Dude, that's wild. That is actually crazy.
Bro,
Holy
if only
cow.
this guy did this in my game yesterday. Come on.
Wait, is this the ball that really annoys you?
Yeah, burb, dude.
He's doing work.
He's doing work in this one. Not sure if he was doing as much in my game list
So I'm
yesterday.
pretty sure you're playing against the Harrisburg player.
Really?
Yeah, Cyrus. He's like the hit scan DPS. He's playing Ryan for whatever reason, but. Anyway, let's see this point B though.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective.
So definitely early window is what we want here. Yeah. Probably could have been even a little earlier when we went for that initial pull, but that's okay. Okay, I'm very curious to see how this fight plays out. I feel like... okay. I feel like you could be positioned a little bit safer. Maybe they're not really pushing in, but I thought they were for a second. Like maybe in like a back corner or something. We're kind of out in the open here, I feel like. They're not really pushing though, but once that ball kind of comes in, it's like, again, it's just like minimizing distractions, right? And like dealing with just nuisances and taking the heat off you. I feel like, you know what, maybe it's something we should talk about. It's like, I feel like, because we keep talking about, like, every time I like make a positioning comment, you're like, you talk about how, you know, as Ana, you would have like positioned like that, right? Like, do Ana and Bap position really differently? Maybe that's something to think about.
I feel like, I don't know, like in my head right now, I'm trying to like think about how like any pro play I've seen, and I feel like they position. I feel like the idea is correct. It's still like very similar, right? It's like you don't want to be up in your like front line. I feel like, and which is what I do on BAP.
Unless they're on like dive or something, like a hard dive.
Yeah.
Then
yeah, right.
you need to be close to the core, but yeah.
Correct.
But I just feel like in the games that we've been looking at today, it's like maybe they have one or two flankers at most. And it's like, I feel like if you play further back, yes, of course you can get dove, but that is a decision that the enemy is, you're forcing them to make that choice. And even then, guess what? Because they're having to come after you that far back, that's pressure that you're taking away from the rest of your team. I don't know, something just to think about maybe.
Yeah, no, I think. I mean, if I take away anything, it's just my position on BAP is shit. Like right here, like this, I feel like this position is like what I wanted. I should have been
at the start.
Like, at the start.
And that was a crazy jump you had. That was actually really nice.
Thank you.
You actually have that down pat. I think you're doing a really good job with that one. And what's funny is I actually think that's a pretty difficult thing to do, relatively speaking, on BAP's kit. But I mean, eventually you do end up getting this position. I'm trying to think, what could you have done differently? So at this point, there's just no, we should not be running the point. We can't, even if we'd like. Man, this is tough.
Yeah, we kind of just get run over.
I mean, the only thing is maybe start kiting back closer to spawn instead of this way. So you can stay alive just a little bit longer. Still a good chance you die, though. What ends up killing you? Genji? Yeah, I think you have to kite it this way. But it's so chaotic. It's like, of course, you also want to lamp the Orisa, but in a split second, they shatter your crease. Then you have to lamp the Kree. Maybe a lamp here would have been better, but again, it's a split second thing. So most of it was fine. The one slight thing is maybe kite towards spawn, but I mean, your Brig does that anyway, and I think you lose the point, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like in that fight, maybe you could not have done a whole lot differently, but had that fight been different, maybe positioning back left from the start would have made a big difference.
Yeah.
In my mind, I could be wrong about this. I don't feel like BAP and Ana positioning is all that different.
I mean, I think you're right. I would not disagree. For some reason, I've somehow trained myself to play BAP differently. I don't know why, though. And I think that's just a big flaw, for sure.
Okay, let's see what happens here in the attack. So they have junk. I mean, they still have their Rhine ball. And you guys have. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm okay with this lamp. This is just so tough to get through.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so awkward. Honestly, you did a good job staying alive there for as long as you did.
Yeah, I think our tank line pushed a little bit too fast, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just need to stabilize, and ideally, I would say you take top right from them.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just for you as a staging place, like, I feel like that's where you eventually want to end up on this attack. If you can get your BAP set up there. I mean, you're already close to the lamp. Or window, rather.
I don't know why we keep going to that small room. With
Yeah.
The Junkrat.
Yeah, one small minor tweak could just be like to walk through the road. It is good that you guys are going like not left. So honestly, it is possible. Yeah, I mean, going into left against the Junkrat is basically a death sentence. It is technically because you have BAP. There is a brief period where like if you window up, you could potentially clear this space. But yeah, I think going main is probably best, and probably yeah not in this room. And you guys are getting stuck in this room. Part of that is not having a Lucio, but so this is really awkward because you need to now traverse this spot. Okay, you get over. So I would lamp last second. Yeah, I think it was a reasonable lamp. And now I'd probably window from the high ground here. Probably would have put it closer to the edge, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah, you can make an argument that maybe I should have just saved the window for when everyone dropped a point, and I just window myself on top.
Yeah, I think that is a good call.
Because I don't really know if that window did anything, right?
Yeah, I guess when I initially made that comment, I just kind of assumed that your team is just going to continue to walk forward and drop off. Yeah, I agree with that. And again, it's like, you just kind of walked up the edge to the ground here, and I just don't think you should be on the low ground. You know, because like he's blading, right? Like, again, it's so just dangerous to just be on the ground. Like, yeah, I really think if you think about it closer to Ana positioning.
I think maybe it's just like it's like I'm sitting on high ground, right, away from my team, and if he wants to commit to me fully, it's like maybe I just commit to being the bait.
Yeah, I mean, remember,
buy as much time for the team.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it here in a second. Let me just scroll through this. You guys get it right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, remember our Violet review, right? Remember how differently he played on Ilios Ruins when he had. When they had Blade, remember how far back he was?
Yeah.
And then he forced whoever it was, Sparkle, to make a decision between going for the core versus him. And then he's playing so far back that he just ends up lamping.
I feel like, yeah, like that makes sense, but it's just like I don't know if I got to see like what he would do if the Genji actually chose to go for him.
Well, we talked about it, right? It's like you would lamp yourself, you would use the boots to try to dodge at least a slash. Maybe you'd even drop. Like, depending on how high of an altitude you're at, like, you can't even charge the boots, drop, and as soon as you hit the ground, just jump back up, right? Like, it works for, like, a certain height level, but... yeah, I mean, I think it's still good to play far back, but certainly you're lamping yourself and you're charging your boots up. And you're trying to hop around as much as possible and just juke him out and do the best you can. And you're calling that the Genji's on you, and you hope maybe your Brig gives you a pack, some sort of stun comes in. But I think that's the best you can do. It's like, what's the alternative though, right? I mean, in the end, you just kind of walked on the ground. He went after you anyway and killed you. Like,
yeah, I feel like for some reason my inclination is just to or somehow along the way I just thought that oh, I'm gonna survive this blade by kiting towards my team. But it's like maybe Maybe that's even worse. Just like dying on the high ground. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think forcing him to make a choice is good. Yeah, I mean, I think, and okay, maybe one distinction between BAP and Ana is that I feel like Ana is like much more diveable and not as survivable, but BAP's just got some more of that vertical mobility, and immortality is just really good to kind of keep yourself up for a while.
Yeah.
So you don't always necessarily need to be on the on your brig. Yeah, good window. Nice jump to that. I mean, that was actually nice going to this spot. Again, like, why did you drop?
I don't know.
That was
dude.
actually, I was thinking in my head, you know, this could be like, because I knew the Genji was coming for you from behind, and I saw you were charging up the jump, and I was like, where would you go here? Because this is a bit of a tricky
I
position.
do. I just tell you. I just think I'm just like scared to play away from my team for whatever reason. I don't know why, dude.
I mean, again, maybe I'm not right about this, but I think it's worth experimenting with and seeing, you know,
No,
how you would adjust
mean,
them.
I think you're 100% correct. Like, I should be taking these like positions. Like, why? Like even I'm looking back and it's just like, why am I not? Why did I drop? It's like, why do I drop? It's like, I don't know.
I mean, that was initially really nice jump. Like, you went exactly to, like, this is great. It's just, like, look at this spot. Like, you free fire on the team. Like,
Yeah.
the red team is kind of, they need to make something happen, right? Like, your team has point control. You've got
Right.
3 bodies
And,
on
like,
point.
now
You're
that I-
capping.
Like now that you think about it, it's like, what? Like I don't even think Genji can get up to me very easily. Well, he
Right.
could like wall climb up the pole, but like,
But think about it. Even if, like, worst case, he's coming for you and allocating all that time and energy, guess where that damage is not going, right? Like, your team, you guys have the point.
you know,
It's like at some point their damage needs to get a kill, but if you're investing into just their support, and it's like even if you buy time, right? I don't know if you have immortality or you have both cooldowns, right? Like why? And it's like you drop, and not only do you drop, but it's like what? Like how, in what world is this better, right? Like this is the other part. Like now, how easy is it for the ball and or the Genji and or the Kree and or you know the Moira is literally like sucking you already, right? Like.
right. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I dropped just to like try and get closer to that like Creed. And it's just like what? It's like it's just not worth it, right? I mean, that's just the.
No, yeah, it's
That's
not.
that's just the classic support mistake of like putting yourself in danger for the sake of like saving someone who's out of. I mean, we already saw this on the other map too.
And I think one of the big things that we keep coming back to is like I know you keep bringing up the point of like you know the travel time of the grenades, right? And I get it, like especially in spam. I know it's very tempting to really kind of bunker down and like hold the corner and just like constantly because like there's so much damage being traded in the front lines back and forth that it's like it's really nice to just get that chunks of constant healing in.
Yeah.
But what's the opportunity cost, right? It's like okay, sure, maybe you're getting that faster fire like heal rate with your grenades, but like you're giving up the high ground, you're giving up like safer positioning, you're giving up potentially like you know better damage angles. Like imagine this, like if you're not being pressured as much in the middle of like the enemy team to heal yourself or heal your teammates, like you could potentially hit that toggle and go more aggro BAP, put damage out, and I just don't think that trade-off is like worth it in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I agree.
And like that Kree was on the middle of the point, right? And you were right here. This is
Right,
not
like-
that much distance. When you drop, like if he's going to die when you shot him from here, he was probably going to die when you shot him from here. And even if he just barely gets that, it's like he's gonna die eventually. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
and again, it's like what are you giving up? Not like okay, you get that little bit of faster fire rate, but you're giving up so much.
Mm-hmm.
How did that fight even end? Do you just end up walking backwards, or do you die? I don't even remember at this point. Like, let me.
I think I just walked backwards.
Yeah, I just walked backwards out of the choke.
Man, that pillar spot was actually sick. If you just stayed up there, that would have been crazy. Alright, so we're pushing left, which I think is reasonable. We're about to have window. Yeah, I mean, left is definitely... Alright, so we're just chilling. Okay, we flux in response. Good window. We need to lamp this. Oh!
Yeah, that's just... That was pretty unlucky.
A little bit unlucky. The
But
only...
also maybe I shouldn't have been playing on that side of the wall.
As in, like, where did you want to be? Like, on this side, or?
On the right side, yeah. So I could have maybe at least see the Rhine out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah, so you definitely have to be mindful of spawns, right? And also, maybe, like, you could also just play a little further, like back, potentially. Again, even here.
Right.
Have this pillar. Like, he can't charge you through the pillar, obviously, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, because you dying there, it really sucks for your team.
Yeah, dude.
'Cause it's like main healer going down. Oh, and is that their rally? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're trying to go for like a... Get back as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Oh my...
Yeah, that's just, yeah, you know, lucky.
Alright. Not Scout's finest moment, but... And we're already back on the back.
Not Scout's finest moment, dude.
I think because there was like a minute and a half left, I probably would have just stayed on BAP. It's tough. Man, that charge was such a Chad play, and it worked.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think you should have just been back behind a pillar, or like maybe closer to that right wall like you suggested so you could see it. I probably would have been just further back. Oh man. Yeah, now you guys are just kind of staggered. It's basically like practically last fight territory. Once by the time the Tracer gets back. This ball is also so annoying.
Like, our crew is spending all this time shooting at this goddamn ball. Like, look at him. He's just like fighting a ball, dude.
Yeah, you can't save that Kree there.
Yeah, maybe we could have lamped earlier, but they're pushing into us.
Yeah, I mean... In terms of micro play, I don't know if there was a whole lot differently you could have done that last fight. But I do think that there were certainly some positioning things to look into there.
Yeah.
And that could have potentially either A, kept you alive longer, or B, allowed you to just output more value. Because, I mean, you know, you getting pinned there definitely hurt. And just also, like, the missed opportunity to stay on that pillar, which could have been potentially absolutely nuts, I think.
Yeah.
To keep the healing going, to force that Genji to... Because, I mean, like, I'll tell you, like, if I'm Genji in that situation, I'm a DPS, like, I'm kind of panicking a little bit, like, if I'm that red team. It's like, we need to take the point back. The support, like, BAP is taking this really aggressive angle. It's like they already have 3 people on point. They already have a tick. They're about to get a second tick. It's like, I need to make something happen fast. Even if I go for the BAP, he has both cooldowns. so it's gonna be super hard to kill him fast. My whole team is trying. It's like no one else is probably coming with the Genji either, right? Because it's such a chaotic fight. So it's like a 1v1.
Right.
At
yeah.
worst, you lamp yourself, you shift yourself, you shoot him a little bit. You're still like he's not gonna kill you that quickly. And in that time, it's like he's also not damaging your team, so you guys still have the advantage. It's like that is like a nightmare. I feel like for the DPS to try to turn that back. And I don't think he had Blade either, so it's like really a pain. But anyway, maybe some play style or positioning opportunities to think about. But man, we are an hour 46 minutes in. That was. I mean, I enjoyed. Hopefully, there was something in there that was.
Oh yeah,
good
for
to think
sure.
about, but
I fully roasted myself. I've realized my mistakes. Positioning, dude.
yeah,
Overwatch is just positioning, dude. My bat positioning, so sad, so sad. I mean, that was the biggest thing, right? I felt like
Yeah.
I just never held positions that were advantageous to me. I'd like give them up too easily or just drop for no reason. It's just like I don't know why. I feel like I just need to chill and like own the position.
Yeah, I would say with BAP high ground control, that was like probably the single most common occurrence with positioning, and with Brig like solidifying the back line, and then like the biggest opportunity with Brig is like I think some of the off angle stuff.
Supporting the off angle, playing with the back line a little bit more.
Yeah, and then of course once the you
Chilling
have the
out.
advantage, then that's when like in the same way like with Reinhardt, right? Like knowing like when to really
Right.
push forward.
Right, just go
Absolutely,
aggro.
yeah. But
I
it's
hear ya.
it's you have to get the advantage first. It's not just you can walk forward.
Yes.
It's very unintuitive and it's just so tempting. I mean, the same way like with Genji, right? Like it's so you want to dash in, you want to get the resist, you want to go after the pulls, but like there's just so much to slow you down, and that can kill you.
I agree.
But yeah, we had a good number of viewers. I think we peaked at 6 at one point, and I feel
We
like a
had
bunch of
6 a lot
different
of the time.
people. I think it was more than 6 people too. Like I think 6 was like the max concurrent, but I imagine a lot of different people were rotating in.
That's cool. That's awesome.
But cool. Yeah, thanks for sticking around this long, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, but hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.
See ya.